How's it? Hey Loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. Okay. Aloha everyone. It is Friday, August 8th. And today is a vlog and news, I guess. I wasn't going to do it, but out of respect in a sense, or because a bunch of stuff was happening. But today is the second year anniversary or second year commemoration of the Lahaina Maui wildfires. A real, actual, huge tragedy. And about a little over 100 people, I think 101, I don't know exact, but a little over 100 people lost their lives in a fire that started and went so fast that it was complete chaos and utter panic and terror. So I did a bunch of videos back then. I'm going to try to just be short and not so try to be fun or nothing. Fun.
Move it.
Move it. I did a bunch of videos back then. One of them even was debunking top 10 conspiracies about it, how it started, and me debunking those conspiracy theories. I'm gonna try to link that somehow, because so I was debating on what to do today. Let's put
I remember.
I remember. Yes, I remember too. Just by weird fate coincidence, I myself suffered from what's known as toxic, a systematic.
Are you okay?
Toxicity. What is it? I can't even think of it.
No.
But it, like an infection of the blood that fast because of an old.
She can't stay.
A fairly recent operation, and instantly in one, I was sick one day. And the next day, it was ER, intensive care unit for 6 days. It was like,
sleep.
Hey, telling the story over and over again, but it was like that close. It was like, oh, I almost died. So I'm in the hospital when I'm taking in the Maui wildfire. So it made a big impression. The second big impression about the Maui wildfire was my friend Woody, who's now Captain Woody, because he does tours off of a dive boat, calls me the day before I really got infected. I was like, I wasn't feeling that well, and then he was giving me a call like, how are things going? He's in Lahaina, so I'm watching all this stuff, and it was mind-boggling. It got me off. I was in ICU, and it got me off my problem. But let me run down, in case it's forgot, because it's like $2 billion settlement happened with insurance companies, FEMA, all this stuff, and they're just starting to get houses. they're just starting to get houses completed, and people they're not back on their feet. So let me run down a little bit of the what in a short nutshell. There was a weather system in the southern hemisphere, south of the equator, producing, swirling down there, a weather system up here swirling the other way, producing unusually high winds. Now in this mainstream media, or this twisted spin doctor media, they're going, oh, how could such a thing? I don't believe it. It's all made up. No, because they don't know what they're talking about. They're just talking heads spinning stuff for their own political gain. Fuck them. But there was high winds. It was a fact of a fact. It was like 60 mile an hour winds, I believe it was. I'm going off the top of my head. So Maui was experiencing these high winds. Now these telephone poles that have power lines and telephone lines and such, they're old wooden telephone poles. And a lot of them have been kind of old, weather, termite, whatever. So these are some of these have gotten blown down. So there's high winds, some of these blew down, and in just north of Lahaina, there's a little school, and the back field of the school is where this fire started. And it went from the back of that field with all that wind, and it just went, because the telephone poles and the transformers go down, they spark, and it was a bunch of dry grass that was overgrown. So they now know that overgrown dry grass is a big fire danger. Especially, it's nobody's land, nobody's cutting the yard, sort of thing. And the fire broke out, dry grass, high winds, and it funneled, got big and funneled right into Lahaina. And Lahaina's one-way, it's like a one street going through Lahaina. So alarms didn't go off, like siren alarms or this kind of alarms, because they thought of it but decided not to, because they thought if they hit the siren for the alarms, people think it was a tsunami, they'd go out of their house and run upland, into the fire. Now trust me, that was kind of more excusey. I don't know why. There was a lot of balls that were dropped, in a sense. There was a lot of fumbling going on with there was preparation of evacuation, and that's why a lot of people died, and many were traumatized, and we lost Lahaina off the map. No Lahaina. That's an old city, back to the whaling days, before Captain Cook kind of stuff. So the fire came down, it went through. Now this is from Woody, Captain Woody, my friend on Maui. He has a boat. It was dry dock. It was out of the water in town, Lahaina. Now he's out of town a little bit. He hears of the fire news, and he thinks, well, maybe I can go into Lahaina and check it out. Then they hear the fire alarm, because the fire broke out. There's fire. And the signal was that people were getting was, there is a fire, it's taken care of. There's a fire, okay, it's under control. They're on it. So there at first wasn't much of a get out of town thing. And Woody decided to go into town to check on the boat anyway. So I got a lot of first-hand stuff from Woody afterwards, because I was wondering if he was okay after that. And they thought the fire was okay, and the person who is in control of emergency management was in an emergency management convention in Honolulu. So the conventions with the convention center and having poo-poo platter and we're gonna break for food and then we're gonna have a speaker. He's in Honolulu. So the main dude who should have gotten the first call to organize evacuation management was on vacation on Oahu. So yeah, but see, Woody was going. He was telling me some of the aftermath to illustrate how intense the fire was, because of people get into a traffic jam on a 2-lane road, and this fire is consuming Lahaina, going through the streets, much like a blow furnace. If you were melting glass or melting glass, a blower furnace. It was just funneling through. It was so intense. People couldn't get stuck in their car. They jump out of their car and jumped into the ocean, and they had to wait into the ocean like 8 hours in the ocean. And some of those people, their cars were gone, but they were in the ocean, so some of them survived that way. And he went. Okay, not to get. I didn't want to get too long, and I didn't want to try to be too funny either. I'm trying to joke about this. So, to tell you what Woody told me,
not even close.
He went right after it was out, and he was telling me that there was things that, like, imagine an engine block, solid metal engine block, because they have boats out of water, and he's trying to find his boat. His boat was gone. It's taken out. But they have blocks of solid stainless steel blocks of metal and things like that are, when they do parts, and those types of things were melted like a puddle. They completely melted.
Where are we?
What he was saying, much like the movie Terminator, when the thing is melted into the blah, blah, blah. So that's how intense the heat was. And to this day, many of the people who died in the fire are just ashes amongst the rubble.
Indeed.
They cleared the rubble and the ashes, and they're still
next to me.
Have a pile of basically cremated remains and such with debris, and they're figuring on the final place to put that, because you just don't want to, here's everybody cremated ashes and take it to the dump. But also it's toxic materials.
She told me.
So there's a lot of gruesome and sad problems like that. So anyhow, Woody was fine. He's now redoing his boat. He would bring people on his boat like Metallica, Cheech and Chong. He can get some famous customers because he's very popular. So he's kind of connected with talking to people and knowing people and such. And
I'm confused.
Great guy, Captain Woody. If you ever look up Maui, you can take a boat ride with him, the dolphins and the fishing. So, Maui wildfire, 2 years ago, and they're still trying to rebuild that kind of thing. Okay, so I guess I'll stop there because I'm trying to make this short. I think it's Military Appreciation Day. I'm wearing this. Michael's back from Tokyo. I thought he was Wednesday, but he's back. And there's Blue Angels. I'm going to go visit my mom in the facility this morning. I think she's doing well, getting stronger with walking, but it's just sort of sad going there. It's like I'm all in an existential funk way. And this is maybe a good point of this, because all the while this Maui wild thing was going on, I was like, I'm like in intensive care unit. I could just, there was like so many needles I couldn't move, and there was one even in my neck that went down to my aorta because they couldn't pump this certain. I was like, oh man, I'm glad I'm alive, and I'm thankful I'm alive, but how fragile we all are. And An infection can kill in a day. Wait, just don't my takeaway. Don't wait. Go to the doc, get it checked out. And as far as Maui, I mean, just say a prayer or whatever, or feel sad. I don't know. Just feel sad about it. But not to forget this kind of thing in the midst of all this other stupid greed and corruption that is so, and our country falling apart. There's real lives, real people, and involves not just others, ourselves. It just, how close it was. So anyways, not to pine too much, to Hawaii news. Let's just do this real fast. Sorry if it edits out weird. I might not do too many. Front Street, which is the main thing in Lahaina, recovery lags behind. You're welcome. You're welcome. So there's a big, huge banyan tree, the biggest banyan tree in the United States, the biggest banyan tree. And they made efforts and they saved it. They cloned and they just did this stuff. They pumped down with the roots. When I did my walks, I was like, remember the banyan trees here and the banyan trees there? They're all connected. But the Front Street banyan tree on Front Street, it's like the downtown place to visit in Maui. Replacement benches. The benches have been replaced. Tree was badly damaged August 8th, 2023 by fire. Sections were hauled away and cut down, but parts of the tree are in full leaf and appear to be rebounding. So the tree lives. The then President Biden made a speech right in front of that tree, and it was like, yeah, I was already saying, like, the hope of recovery for Lahaina and the hope of the tree interconnected. Trump is willing to meet Putin even without Zelensky. Oh yeah, Ukraine being terrorized by war crime Russia. Well, if it's just Putin and Trump, they're just gonna carve up like real estate style, and Zelensky's not gonna have that's a farce. That's not a peace. Trump just wants a peace. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize like he wants a golf trophy. Fuck him. Shit. Back at it. Some of this football's coming back. It's about to start all over again. Yay. So they're happy. Getting prepped.
Are you okay?
I'm not okay. I don't know. Let's do it back in the day. A little back in the day, 1964, when you want to relax, just look out there at Honolulu. It's a state. The 50th state. This is Honolulu Mayor Neil Blaisdell. That's Neil Blaisdell. And his wife Lucy atop Ala Moana building. Surveying the city, the mayor has run for the past 10 years, announced his intentions to seek another 4-year term. Because when you're brand new state, no one else wants to know how to do this mayor thing. If you do it, I don't want to do it.
I can't speak. Come here.
You're speaking quite fine. A cannon. 2 old cannons next to the traffic light above will sit in the corner of Merchant Street. What the heck?
Bride.
Yeah, Hawaii's got a rich history of weird. Although I should say something else than weird. Oh, the pollution smokestacks. Political cartoon. Pollution smokestacks slowly go into the big corporation going, shh. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. That's right. That's all that denying climate change is just corporate greed, no regulations. And what we got here, let's do this.
Awaiting peace, decades after atomic bombing.
80 years ago, August 6, 1945, we sliced the chrysanthemum off its stalk and left it burning in the sun. Our victory was hailed, yet over the ashes of Hiroshima, my ancestors lay buried. 44 years later, that mushroom cloud traveled across the Pacific into my classroom. The Rio and family moved to Hawaii from Hiroshima. Her grandmother, exposed to the radiation as a child, was now ridden with cancer throughout her body. Her physician recommended the mild climate of Hawaii for the last years of her life. Nario, not knowing a word of English, entered my 3rd grade class. Oh, Nario, forgive us for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The atomic bomb, we were promised, was the start of peace. A world free of mushroom clouds, battlefields, soldiers, motherless children abandoned in hunger and fear. We are all old men and women now, and we wait. We wait. Francis H. Kakugawa, Sacramento, California. Thank you, Francis, for your letter. Yeah, it's that's the thing. I mean, we're in the atomic age ever since 1945 and those two bombs. On the 6th was Hiroshima. On the 9th, tomorrow, is the 80th anniversary of Nagasaki. So they bombed Hiroshima, and 3 days later, the same thing in Nagasaki. Goes up, people are vaporized, and then the aftermath is just pure fallout, radioactive hell. Burns, and years later, cancer. And yeah, they always thought, well, now that we got the big bomb, no one's going to want to do war. It entered, we want more nuclear weapons than you, Cold War. So, let's hope that people understand, well, the world leaders, that is, understand that there is no limited nuclear war. Once those things go off, climate, you're not going to be denying climate change. There might not be a climate as we know it. And that's what killed off dinosaurs. Climate, once the climate goes, when it's nuclear winter or radiation or this thing, it's gone. So, anyways, on that very dark, sorry note, let's remember Lahaina.
You are funny.
Prevention nowadays consists of
Sailor.
when it's really high winds, like it was the other day, the other week. It was high winds. When it's high winds, dry brush, drought condition, because it's really dry grasses and there's high winds, they randomly shut off the power. Mostly because, yeah, it's prevention from liability. Anyways, have a peaceful day. It's Friday. Aloha. Oh, and let me try this. Yeah. There it is. Sorry.
Aloha to you. Aloha. Get well, Banyan. Lahaina Fire. Maui Strong.